Hello and welcome to Your World This Week, your weekly roundup of the biggest news stories of the week. The top news stories this week are:
the trending political news of the week is TDP-BJP split over special category status for Andhra Pradesh. Both the houses of the parliament were adjourned within 10 minutes of convening and amid protest by the TDP MPs. Ahead of the commencement of the second part of the budget session, the MPs staged the protest in front of Mahatma Gandhi's statue in parliament premises. Two TDP ministers, P. Ashok Gajapati Raju and Y.S. Chaudhary, met PM Modi at his residence in New Delhi over the issue of special status to Andhra Pradesh and tendered their resignation to the PM, citing unavoidable circumstances. President Ramnath Kovind, as advised by the Prime Minister, accepted the resignations of two TDP ministers and directed the PM to look after the work carried out by the Civil Aviation Ministry, which was headed by Raju. Stating that human beings have the right to die with dignity, the Supreme Court recently gave its nod for passive euthanasia under strict guidelines. India's top court also allowed an individual to draft a living will specifying they do not put on ventilator or artificial support if they slip into an incurable coma in the future. The order, passed by a 5-judge constitution bench, came on a plea by the NGO Common Cause. Right to life, the petition argued, includes right to die with dignity. Keeping a patient alive by artificial means against his or her wishes is an assault on his or her body, it added. The court, in the meantime, also talked of involving a medical board to determine whether the patient in a vegetative state could be revived or not. Fugitive mafia don Dawood Ibrahim is reportedly keen to return to India with certain preconditions not acceptable to the government, according to well-known criminal lawyer Shyam Keswani. Speaking to the media outside the Thane court, where he represented Dawood Ibrahim in an extortion case, the lawyer said one of Dawood's conditions was to be lodged only in the high secure presence of the Arthur Road Central Jail in Mumbai. Dawood's brother Iqbal Kaskar told the Thane court on Tuesday that he had spoken to the underworld don on phone before his arrest, but he did not know where his brother was. Kaskar has been remanded to the police custody till March 9th. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condemned the tit-for-tat vandalism of statues after two Lenin statues in Tripura, Peria statue in Tamil Nadu, and the Syama Prasad Mukherjee bus was blackened and smashed in Kolkata. Warning of stern action, the Home Ministry has ordered all states to check such incidents and cautioned that senior government and police officers will be held responsible for such acts. Meanwhile, security around statues has been tightened in Delhi and Mumbai. Anger boiled over in Tamil Nadu, where a statue of Periyar was vandalized hours after BJP leader S. Raja suggested it in a controversial Facebook post, responding to anger over Lenin statues being raised in Tripura. In the Kolkata incident, 6 Javdafbar students said to be part of an ultra-left group have been arrested. Syama Prasad Mukherjee was the founder of the BJP's predecessor, Jana Sangh. BJP workers in Bengal took out protests in the streets against the vandalism. S. Raja expressed anger for this post and said vandalizing Periyar statues is unacceptable. Facebook admin posted this message: without my permission. My intention was not to hurt anyone. The retreat came when BJP President Amit Shah posted his disapproval on Twitter. Keeping up with the tradition, the Oscars 2018 transcended the purely cinematic experience in the backdrop of the Harvey Weinstein controversy by bringing the big theme of sexual harassment at the workplace to center stage. Among this year's winners, The Shape of Water won the award for Best Picture, Gary Oldman got the Best Actor male trophy for Darkest Hour, and Frances McDormand won the Best Actor Female award for her sparkling performances in 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Guillermo del Toro won Best Director for The Shape of Water. The men in blue make over 1,400% more than women in blue who represent India in international tournaments. This shocker came out in the open even as the country marked International Women's Day, once again bringing the stark discrimination in Indian cricket into the limelight. And even though the BCCI should have tried to overcome this anomaly, the gap, it seemed, only has widened over time. So while the men's team captain Virat Kohli will earn 7 crore annually, the women's team captain Mithali Raj will just get 50 lakh annually. According to statistics, even the grade C players in the men's team will earn double of what the grade A players of the women's team would earn. Last year, the Indian team was the finalist in the Women's World Cup held in England. The BCCI certainly needs to do some serious rethinking on the wage front. Do watch this viral video of the week.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of Your World This Week. Have a great weekend and stay tuned to NewsMobile.